Okay, so we are making this video as the first video on today's show, mostly because the Vancouver Canucks have an early game today. They're playing the Chicago Blackhawks at 3 p.m. PST, and if you've been following, the video schedule that I like to make here on this channel, you'd know that we like to make videos, at least 3 videos, before 4 p.m. PST, and with the Canucks game being so early, it's not really all too good if I made a Canucks-related video maybe 2 or 3 hours before the game. So this one is going to be released about 5 hours beforehand, which is okay, in my opinion. And we also have ourselves a busy day for me. I'm not going to be able to watch this game. I'm going to be out and about doing other things, so I will leave you with that. Not trying to expand on anything here, just kind of letting you know where everything is at. I'm not going to be free for 3 p.m.'s game, but either way, in this video, what I wanted to do was go over a graphic posted by the NHL that admittedly is a little bit outdated, but still has some information that I think is valuable to talk about. And what the NHL did was they went onto their own Twitter page and talked about players on new teams getting traded ever since the trade deadline. So, these players are fitting in quite nicely since joining their new squads, calculated by SAP. Is that the printer company? No, wait, no. SAP is like a electronic software thing. Oh, I got confused because in San Jose, the SAP Center used to be called HP Pavilion, and when I think about HP, I think about their printers. Yeah, okay. Not a printer company, SAP, but they went out there and calculated these numbers. Here are the points leaders on players on new teams as of the trade deadline. The bottom of the graphic here, you have Marcus Johansson, who's got 9 points in 11 games as a member of the Wild. Mattias Ekholm, 9 points in 11 games played. Pretty good number there for a guy who was never really noted primarily for his offense at Edmonton. Ivan Barbashev from St. Louis to Vegas has 9 points in 13 games. By the way, this graphic was posted on March 24th in the afternoon, so some of these numbers may not be the most accurate the games played. You could probably just add 1 to most of them, and then you'll get a more accurate picture, but still, the ranking is what we're looking at here. You also have Bo Horvat, who's got 9 points in 20 games as a member of the Islanders, which isn't a lot, but you go out there and consider how well he's been playing despite not producing all too much. It's still a pretty good season he's been having, not gonna lie. Evgeny Dadonov has 10 points in 13 games for the Dallas Stars, so he's under a point per game over there. And then you flip to the opposite side of the graphic. You have Sammy Blais with 11 points in 20 games as a member of the Blues. Honestly, really good bounce back that Sammy Blais has had with St. Louis. It's very nice to see. Rasmus Sandin is over a point per game with 12 points in 10 games as a member of the Capitals. Where was that production in Toronto? Crazy. Then you have Dmitry Orlov from Washington over to Boston. He's got 12 points in 13 games, very good over there too. Vladimir Tarasenko, though, is second overall on this list with 14 points in 21 games played as a member of the Rangers. But number 1 on this list, the reason we are making this video and why it's a Vancouver Canucks related video is because Anthony Beauvillier is the top guy amongst all players who are on new teams from the trade deadline. 17 points, 22 games played. Now it's 23 games because the Canucks played yesterday and Beauvillier didn't get a point. But Beauvillier is still number 1. Take a look at Tarasenko. That guy didn't produce a point in his most recent game as well, so Beauvillier still has the lead here, and it's kind of intriguing going out there and seeing just how much of an impact he's been able to make with this team. If you go over to the season holistically, Beauvillier had 20 points in 49 games played as a member of the Islanders. He's got 17 points in 23 games played as a member of the Canucks. Vancouver has... how many games left do they have on this season? Let's go ahead and check that out here. They have 71 games played, so they've got 11 games left. And if you do the math for Beauvillier, 17 divided by 23 multiplied out by 23 plus 11, which would be 34, you have a point production pace of about 25 points in 34 games to end off the season. And that would be pretty good considering how many points he got with New York, which was significantly fewer. And just thinking about why Beauvillier is able to produce more with Vancouver versus New York, it's not really all too difficult. I mean, the systems they play, the production, the caliber of talent, it's all sort of different there. Bo Horvat is having a pretty slow start to his point production with the Islanders, but I'll tell you this, if Bo Horvat was the winger with Kuzmenko and Petey, he'd probably have a lot more points than he has with the Islanders right now. He may even get a little bit more than what he had with the Canucks, to be honest. So for Beauvillier, he certainly has been set up with the best opportunity amongst most of these free agents, or not free agents, but new acquired players. So seeing him produce as much as he has been, especially since he's a more than competent hockey player at fetching pucks on the boards, tipping pucks in, being in the right place at the right time, and just making the proper plays when he needs to, it's not surprising to me to see Beauvillier translate so quickly as to how he has been able to translate. He's been playing really well with Petey and Kuzmenko, and you even saw that video. We had talked the other day about that Beauvillier mic'd up video in the other game against the Dallas Stars, not yesterday's game, but the one at home in Rogers Arena. And you could see Beauvillier talking to Kuzmenko, they're going over plays, they're kind of analyzing what it is they're supposed to do, and Kuzmenko's kind of firing back, saying, hey, you got to open up this lane, and Beauvillier saying, no, but I did this because of that, and you could see that there's sort of a really good energy between these two. Sure, they're not like going out there and just agreeing with each other all the time, they're kind of challenging each other and what they're trying to do because they want to make proper plays, which is honestly kind of entertaining from a fan's perspective like mine. But it goes to show just the attention to detail that has been placed out there. Beauvillier is a good enough player that he can take instructions from a guy like Kuzmenko and adjust and use what it is that he has in his toolkit to set up guys like Petey or Kuzmenko and tip pucks in when they're taking long shots from the point or whatever. This is not really the same level of offensive flexibility that he was granted in New York. We know the systems are different. We know they play a little bit more defensively. It's been like that, Barry Trotz, Lane Lambert, whatever. It's a lot more defensively than Vancouver's is. Let's just be real here. And so, with Beauvillier producing as much as he has, it kind of begs the question, where do you go from here? I saw a lot of Canucks fans earlier on when the trade was made saying, hey, this could be a great opportunity. Play Beauvillier with the top players, give him a whole bunch of points, and then you could trade him away next year at the trade deadline because he's only making $4 million a season until the end of 2024. Send him away after boosting his trade value and get a boatload of stuff for him in return. But the thing is, I've seen a lot of other cynical people going out there saying, oh, because Beauvillier is playing well, you know the Canucks themselves are going to be the team that gives him a contract extension because he's young enough to justify building around him. He's only 25 right now. He'll be 26 by the start of the summer here. So who knows? We'll see what happens with Beauvillier as time goes on, but for now, he has been playing very well, and he's fit in quite nicely into this top six. Honestly, with the way that he's been playing and the success he's had, I don't think it's too irrational of a thought process to think, okay, next year, imagine Andrei Kuzmenko, Pettersson, and Beauvillier are still as good as they are. Imagine JT Miller is as good as he is right now. You have other players like Brock and Garland who can be okay once in a while. Tanner Pearson is not great, admittedly, but when he's healthy, he might be able to do a little bit more than he had been this season. And then you have Ilya Mikheyev too, who actually was a pretty good player. Like, all things considered, Mikheyev being out for the remainder of the season ever since his surgery really was a hit to the team's offensive core, and he was pretty talented when he was in the lineup. So honestly, just thinking about where this team could go, if you wanted to make the argument that says, yeah, Rick Tocchet brought out the best of these guys at the end of the year, if he's able to bring out the best of them at the start of next season, they could actually get off to a hot start, I wouldn't necessarily disagree with that POV. It's just that level of wishful thinking is kind of what got Canucks fans screwed at the beginning of this season when they said, oh, Bruce Boudreau, man, the Boudreau bump, the team's going to be able to do well, and then they didn't. They crapped the bed and Boudreau got fired, and now everything's going well again because Rick Tocchet's here, and the Connor Bedard race is as hot as it has ever been, and Vancouver is slowing down in that process. But you can let me know your thoughts in the comment section either way, all your opinions about Anthony Beauvillier. What are your thoughts about how he's played with the Canucks so far? What are your thoughts on how he might play next year? And whether or not the Canucks should keep him around, trade him away, re-sign him, build around him, whatever. Thoughts as well as to how he's been performing in comparison to other players who got traded at the trade deadline. More points than Barbashev, Tarasenko, Patty Kane, Bo Horvat, Dadonov. All these guys are being outproduced by Beauvillier. Now, I know he had a head start because he was traded a lot earlier, but still, he's at the top of the list. Sap went out there and calculated it all, so it's out there on the Twitters. But thoughts in the comment section either way, all your opinions about Beauvillier. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.